Are we one step closer to reaching the stars or planets? With a blast of SE vapor and a roar of engines, SpaceX's Starship prototype successfully passes its most crucial test, bringing humanity one step closer to interplanetary travel. SpaceX, a private aerospace company founded by billionaire entrepreneur Elon Musk, has been working on the development of the spacecraft Starship for several years. Starship is intended to be the most potent launch space shuttle ever built and the first with complete reusability, with more than double the thrust of the Saturn V by NASA. It is previously known as the Interplanetary Transportation System, or the Big Falcon rocket. The system is made up of two parts: the Super Heavy, which acts as the first stage booster, and the Starship, which serves as the upper stage where passengers will ride. The name of the launch vehicle has undergone several changes over time, but is now officially known as the Starship. This centerpiece is intended to convey passengers and cargo to Earth orbit, planets, and other deep space destinations. To evaluate the design and performance of the Starship, and to identify any issues that may arise during a real-world space mission, SpaceX's Starship spacecraft is undergoing a series of tests including static fire tests, evaluate the performance of the engines and check for any issues before Starship conducts an actual flight test. Pressure testing, evaluate the Starship's ability to withstand the high pressures and loads that it will experience during launch and flight. Landing testing, to evaluate the Starship's ability to land back on Earth after a space mission. Flight tests, evaluate the performance of the Starship's propulsion systems, avionics, and other critical systems. Environmental testing, evaluate the performance of the Starship in extreme temperatures, humidity, vibration, and other environmental conditions. And cryogenic testing, subjecting the vehicle to extremely low temperatures and high pressures, simulating the harsh conditions it will encounter during a launch and flight. Before we explore more exciting information about the Starship's achievement in cryogenic testing, make sure to subscribe to our channel and click the bell icon so you never miss any of our videos. Let's go to the video. One of the key tests in the development of any spacecraft is the cryogenic proof test or cryogenic load test, which is used to check for leaks and measure the integrity of the fuel tanks. The tanks are filled with liquid nitrogen and the prototype is pressurized to ensure that it would not leak and that the tanks would be able to withstand the extreme temperatures where it can be low up to -196 degrees Celsius or -320 degrees Fahrenheit and pressures of a rocket launch. Cryogenic testing is an important step in the development of the Starship as it simulates the extreme temperatures the spacecraft will experience in space. In the past, cryogenic testing has helped SpaceX identify and fix issues before they become serious problems during an actual launch. On May 2020, the fourth Starship prototype, SN4, successfully completed its cryogenic test, marking the first time a Starship prototype had successfully completed this crucial step in the development process. This was considered a major milestone for the Starship launching program conducted at SpaceX's Boca Chica facility in Texas. CEO Elon Musk shared the exciting news of the successful cryogenic testing of the Starship SN4 prototype via Twitter. He posted a GIF of the test along with the caption "SN4 passed cryo proof" and included a relieved emoji. Additionally, Musk tweeted, "Great work by SpaceX engineering. The test's maximum pressure was 490 kilopascal, or around 72 pounds per square inch, which was reached." Musk described it as a softball test, but it was still a crucial step toward it. The cryogenic testing of the Starship prototypes has not been without its challenges. The three earlier prototypes failed via this exact same technique due to structural issues. In November 2019, the Starship Mk1 prototype experienced a failure during a cryogenic test, resulting in a significant explosion. The explosion was caused by a failure in the welds that connect the stainless steel sections of the prototype, which were unable to withstand the extremely cold temperatures and pressure. The second prototype, SN1, also met with disaster during testing in February 2020 as it exploded from the rear and flew off the launch pad, ultimately falling sideways and exploding out of the top. The explosion was caused by a failure in the cryogenic fueling system, which was unable to maintain the required pressure levels for the test. After SN1 failed, SpaceX moved on to SN2, which was not a full-scale test, but rather a test with a smaller tank. Although it wasn't full-scale, SN2 was really the first to pass the cryogenic pressurization test. To do it, they had to take out SN3, the following full-scale prototype. Sadly, the third prototype, SN3, encountered a leak during testing, which ultimately caused the collapse of its fuselage. These failures were attributed to various issues such as test configuration mistakes and tanks buckling under the weight of other components. However, the fact that SN4 passed the proof test successfully gave hope that SN5 would also succeed without any problems. Following SN4, the Starship SN5 prototype, which was the fifth prototype of SpaceX's Starship spacecraft, successfully completed a cryogenic proof test on August 27, 2020. The test was considered a success and marked a major milestone in the development of the Starship. After that, the SN5 prototype performed an unpiloted low-altitude flight test on August 4, 2020, reaching an altitude of 150 meters before landing back at the test site. This was the first successful flight test of a Starship prototype. SpaceX has conducted several cryogenic tests of Starship prototypes with varying levels of success. Recently, the company performed these tests on a prototype tank known as SN7. The first tests saw the vessel reach a pressure of 7.6 bar before a small leak was detected. The SpaceX team then made repairs and reinforced the prototype's welds before conducting a second test for failure. In December 2020, SpaceX successfully completed a cryogenic proof test of the Starship SN8 prototype, in which the prototype's fuel tanks were filled with liquid nitrogen and methane, and the engines were fired at full power for several seconds. In February 2021, SpaceX's Starship SN9 prototype completed a cryogenic proof test, but during the landing attempt, the vehicle exploded. And after in May, SpaceX's Starship SN10 prototype completed a cryogenic proof test and a successful landing, but exploded a few minutes after landing. Also in recent years, SpaceX CEO Elon Musk announced that an upgraded Starship prototype, known as S24, has successfully completed its first cryogenic proof test after undergoing repairs for a week. Prior to this test, the prototype had undergone a simpler pneumatic proof test, during which it suffered some internal damage. However, the repairs were successful and the prototype passed the cryogenic proof test. The S20 prototype is the latest iteration of the Starship design, which has undergone several changes and updates over the past few years. The S20 prototype features several key advancements in technology, including a new stainless steel alloy, advanced aerodynamics, and a more powerful Raptor engine. It successfully completed a crucial stage of testing known as the cryogenic pressure-proof test. Cryogenic liquid nitrogen was pumped into the tanks of Ship 20 until they were nearly at spaceflight pressure levels. To finish the test, hydraulic rams acted as the Raptor engine's thrust. These tests were successfully completed by SN20. The successful completion of a cryogenic test is considered a major milestone in the development of the Starship, as it demonstrates that the prototype is capable of withstanding the extreme cold temperatures it will encounter in space. The successful cryogenic test of the SN4 prototype is also good news for the overall development of the Starship program, as it indicates that the design and technology being used for the prototype are on the right track. However, it is important to note that this test was still a part of an ongoing development process, and there were still many more tests and refinements that needed to be done before the Starship could be considered ready for flight. This success is particularly noteworthy as previous Starship prototypes had failed in their cryogenic testing. Also, these tests are crucial for the successful launch of the Starship, which is being developed as a vehicle for space travel, including the colonization of Mars. Elon Musk, the CEO of SpaceX, has stated that Starship will be used for a variety of missions, including lunar and Mars missions, satellite launches, and point-to-point travel on Earth. With this latest successful test, SpaceX is one step closer to launching the Starship and making interplanetary travel a reality. As we continue to follow the progress of SpaceX's Starship program, don't forget to subscribe to our channel for the latest updates. Share your thoughts on this latest cryogenic testing success in the comments below, and give the video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. Thank you for watching. Let's stay tuned for future updates and breakthroughs from SpaceX.